You know, for years, we've watched all the big legacy car makers pivot to electric, but there's been one giant that's been kind of quiet. Well, until now. Today, we're diving into what might just be one of Suzuki's most important launches ever, the all-electric e-Vitara. And this isn't just a new car. It's a huge signal that a massive shift is happening for a company we all know for its reliable, affordable cars. So let's just get right to it, the big question on everyone's mind. After mastering hybrids and good old combustion engines for so long, is Suzuki really ready to jump into the incredibly cutthroat global EV market? I mean, this is a massive moment for them, and the answer really starts with their very first big contender. And here it is, the e-Vitara. Now, this isn't some little regional experiment. Suzuki is calling this its first global, strategic, all-electric vehicle. That's a big deal. It's the result of a long, careful development process, and believe me, it's carrying the weight of the company's future ambitions right on its wheels. Okay, so to really get what the e-Vitara is all about, we need to look at its foundation, where it came from, what it's actually built on, and where it's headed. This slide right here, this is basically their global battle plan. It all started with a concept car, the EVX, which then got built on a brand new, dedicated electric platform. And that part is so crucial. It's not some modified gas car. Production kicks off in India in spring 2025, and then boom, sales start almost immediately in Europe, India, and Japan. You can see this is a coordinated global push right from day one. All right, strategy is cool and all, but what about the car itself? Let's get into the design and see how Suzuki is trying to mix its rugged SUV heritage with a bit of a futuristic vibe. So the whole theme is high-tech and adventure, and you can totally see how they've tried to blend those two things. For the adventure part, you get that tough SUV stance, a long wheelbase, and pretty good ground clearance for those weekend trails. And for the high-tech side, the inside is all about that slick, integrated digital cockpit. They're calling it an emotional, versatile cruiser. Look, that's just marketing talk for a car that can handle your daily grind, but is also fun enough for a weekend escape. Okay, let's get to the heart of any EV, the powertrain. This is where we see what this thing is really capable of. So Suzuki's offering two battery options, and the chemistry they're using, LFP, is actually pretty important. All you really need to know is that this type of battery is known for being incredibly safe and very, very durable. You can get a 49 kilowatt hour pack, perfect for city driving, or a bigger 61 kilowatt hour one for longer trips. This choice is really key to how they're going to price this car for different people. And this table just breaks it all down perfectly. If we look at the version with the bigger battery, the front-wheel drive model is your range champion. We're talking around 428 kilometers on the official test. But then, check out the 4WD version. Okay, you trade a tiny bit of range, but that torque jumps way up to 300 Newton meters. And torque, that's that raw, instant power you feel when you accelerate. That's the Suzuki off-road DNA really shining through. So how does it get that 4WD grip? With a new system they're calling All Grip E. Forget old-school mechanical parts. This uses separate electric motors for the front and back wheels, which allows for ridiculously precise control. Plus, for the adventurers, there's a trail mode that basically uses the brakes to act like a limited slip differential, helping to pull you out of mud or snow. It's a really clever piece of tech. Now, having options is great. But how Suzuki is packaging these options for different parts of the world, well, that's one of the most fascinating parts of this whole launch. Let's look at their unique approach for a huge market like India. Okay, now this is just plain clever. In a market like India, Suzuki isn't making customers mix and match trims and batteries. They've simplified the choice completely. You want the entry-level car? You get the standard battery. You want more features and all the goodies? You automatically get the bigger battery. For Suzuki, this makes production way simpler. For the buyer, it gets rid of all the confusion and just creates very clear price tiers. It's a super smart, targeted strategy. So with all this tech and a smart strategy, where does the e-Vitara actually land in the really competitive EV space? Let's talk numbers and rivals. In Europe, the starting price is looking to be around 38,900 euros. Now, that number is absolutely critical because it puts the e-Vitara right in the heart of the fight, challenging established players from all over. That price point is going to be a huge factor in its success. So yeah, the battle lines are drawn. In India, its main target is the hugely popular Tata Nexon EV. And to compete, it's coming with solid charging specs. It supports your standard AC charging at home and DC fast charging up to 70 kilowatts. This makes it a really practical choice for a whole range of buyers, from city commuters to people taking longer trips. All right, To wrap all this up, let's just pull back for a second and look at the bigger picture. What does the e-Vitara really mean for Suzuki's grand vision for the future? This quote from Suzuki's president really says it all. The e-Vitara is a huge step, absolutely, but they're not putting all their eggs in the electric basket. They're taking a flexible, multi-pathway approach. What that means is they'll sell a pure EV where it makes sense, a hybrid where that's a better fit, and even a natural gas vehicle in other regions. It's a very pragmatic, real-world strategy, not a one-size-fits-all fantasy. Which brings us right back to our final question. Can this emotional, versatile cruiser successfully navigate the challenges of this wild EV market and redefine Suzuki's future for a whole new generation? Only time is going to tell, but one thing is absolutely certain. The race just got a lot more interesting. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer.